I feel like the original leaders, like the original people that set it up, they might have had good intent. Like those people who did it at first might have been like, dude, like this whole thing we got going on in England's probably pretty bad. We don't like this whole king thing.
Yeah.
Let's shake it up a little bit. And then everybody else just got that wrong. Like they laid out the perfect template and then we just keep on messing it up, you know? Like, cause it's like we can't, I don't think freedom works. I think we're just going to mess up freedom every time. I think if you have freedom, which is like, it's good and it's bad, you know, like it's good, but it's also bad. But freedom just doesn't, it's freedom. It's why you got Florida.
Well, it's hard to call it a perfect template given the situation that we're in right now. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
If it naturally leads to dysfunction, then it was imperfect to begin with.
But that's what I think it is. I
we're
think
patting
freedom leads to
ourselves on the
dysfunction.
back how perfect our system is, but you know, how many wars have we been inside of? Like, it's I think a system that you can collectively improve.
Checks and balances. Right?
Sure, I think it's got capacity for improvement. It has let's go as far as to say promise for improvement. But I would not call what we've been handed even a great system, to be totally honest with you. This weird two-party dance where, and you know, and it's like I don't know, man. I think grades matter. You know what I'm saying? Like at some point, it's like, okay, well, let's actually judge how things are shaking out.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, we could be doing a lot worse, but like, we're not doing great for what we have.
No, we're not.
You know what I mean?
No. And like, again, it's like checks and balances because you have this system that just allows things to go way too far in either which direction over and over and over again.
It all feels compromised.
Well,
man.
and I feel like the whole two-party system in general, like there's other countries that do it with 5 or 6 or 7 or 8. We just make it impossible to do anything more than 2. Like there's the illusion that there's more than 2 parties, but like if you run in any other party, it's just vote. People look at that as a throwaway vote. Like that's how everybody looks at it, which is crazy. Like it's literally there's no reason to not go in one of the 2 parties. It's just the whole, and that creates naturally this dichotomy where you're either one of those 2, you're either gonna fall into that camp, that natural group of people. It's just so weird. And I think people more and more over time reject it more and more. Like the more and more you see that over time, the more and more you're not gonna like it and reject it. And that's just like what we're seeing play out slower and slower over the years. And that just gets crazier and crazier because people don't like that system and they're rejecting it. But with that, you get these crazy characters.
I do wonder about people that run with like a third party. Like if you know people that run on the Green Party, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Which has never fucking stood a chance for like every election that I've seen. And I don't know, man. Like,
what is the Green Party? What's their?
I'm not even really sure, to be honest.
I would
with
imagine
you.
trees. The first thing that comes to my mind.
I would hope so. You know.
We're the nature party.
Yeah, they are the weed party.
That'd be a good one. If you did everything,
party.
The botany party. Yeah.
The botany party, I think, wouldn't get a lot done, unfortunately.
I would actually probably like
the botany party would want to listen to a lot of fish. Just think about like stoners like that age, like politicians, you know what I mean? Like the botany party wouldn't be very productive.
I like it. I think it might work out. That's not a bad concept, you know. You could actually probably pull it off now. There's that one guy that always ran as a joke. Do you know his name? I always forget his name. I thought he was from Chicago.
D's Nuts?
No, it's something else.
You remember that guy, right?
I don't remember D's Nuts. Oh, on the news? Was it on the news?
I think there's some story in like some local election. This guy ran as D's Nuts. Or like people like wrote in D's Nuts.
Yeah.
Like, I forget exactly what happened.
I thought I saw a clip where it was like on the news and that was what it was. I wish I could remember the other guy because he's been running for president for the last like 20, 25 years. And he always like says ridiculous things. His name's ridiculous. I just can't remember. I thought he was from Chicago. I'm going to do my best to Google it because I think all I have to do...
Do you edit this? Do you like cut this down?
No.
No, we're just letting this...
I'm trying to
We're just letting this rip. Okay.
Chicago guy running for president. Fake. I bet that would actually probably... If that works, that'd be crazy, wouldn't it?
I mean, I don't know. The technology's gotten pretty good. Neither would surprise me.
You know what? This is what I'm going to do. Since this is a live, unedited program, viewers, comment who the guy is. How about that? Boom.
Oh, okay.
Now it's interactive because I'm not gonna figure it out. As I Google
guess we'll
that,
find out. We just gotta wait.
We just gotta wait.
Just gotta wait to see.
It really is a guy though. There's a guy who does it, and I feel like that's a fun thing to like run for president all the time, but do it intentionally as satire. And because I feel like you'd probably attract some folks. You could probably make a thing out of that.
I like the point that they're
Green
making.
Party, the Botany Party.
But no, but the Green Party exists, and they take themselves very seriously. It's like not a joke. You know what I mean? And I just think about these guys. And it's like, you know how, like, if you, like, when you're growing up in, like, sports and stuff, like, if you lose, you can be like, well, at least I gave it a good, like, the improvement in myself from having attempted something difficult is its own reward. That's something you can tell yourself. And and it's all these rich people that spend money to run for these national elections. They spend a shitload of cash, and then they get their ass kicked. You know, because they need to spend it on bullshit to win.
Yeah.
Do you think they tell themselves, they're like, you know what? I'm a better person now that I didn't become the mayor of the city. You know what I mean? Like,
and no, the answer is probably no.
Or like, that I lost in the Green Party, which everybody fucking knows always happens.
Yeah.
But I still decided to run and spend this money.
Well, yeah, what's the point? That's what I'm thinking. Is like, what is the point of even, like, why would you even want to do it?
We're making a statement. I was like, this is a stupid country to do that and think that makes a difference.
I was going to say, when did you leave India? You're from India, right?
I left India in 2001, the summer before 9/11.
Okay.
Which is a wonderful time to arrive.
Yeah, right?
Parents had a great sense of timing. So I've been here a while, but I've only been a citizen since 2015. So I've only been voting for, like, since it started to, like, really suck.
Yeah, right. You just get the best parts from America.
I just got the word, dude.
Over and over.
Every election, timing. I voted begrudgingly. Oh, God.
Yeah, and it's funny because it keeps topping itself. Like, you keep thinking it can't be more like that. I can't hate voting even more than I hated the last 4 years ago. And then you just hate it even more.
It gets worse and
How
worse.
are they going to do it again? I'm waiting to see. It's like when you're waiting for Kanye to say something. Like, how could he top himself? Like, how's it gonna, I can't even imagine what's coming next, you know? So it's kind of exciting.
I think that's his whole thing now. He's just like, you know, he's like...
Oh, right, with the song. Yeah.
I mean, like, now it's just like, all right, we're just gonna give this guy attention. Like, we're just gonna, like, enable this. You know,
they took my kids. You know, everybody's just cheering.
I mean, I don't know that you can call this art anymore. You know what I mean? It's just a weird. If a dog barks into the wind, is that art? Like. What the fuck are we talking about?
Well, I don't know. I feel like the public received his last song pretty well from what I'm seeing on the internet, but maybe I'm just seeing like a vacuum of it. I don't know.
Maybe we've just lost taste. Maybe we as a people have just, like, I'm starting to sound like an old guy. Like, I'm like drifting into that age now where, like,
it's hard to tell.
It's like I like the things that I had growing up so much. It makes everything feel like it fucking sucks.
Yeah, right.
And
you never think you're gonna be that guy,
and you never want to become that guy.
Yeah, you don't see it coming.
But I also think it's like now I've had more time to, like, compute and, like, form opinions and become a person. You've
absorbed it, yeah.
So, like, if I don't like something, I usually have a reason why. I'm not like, oh no, you know what I mean? Like, I just know how to, like, I don't know, think things through a little bit more than when everything felt like it was good.
Yeah.
I think there was just a time in my life where no matter how terrible something was, it just, to me, felt like it was good because it was new.
Right.
And that goes away, man. At some point, you just hit a wall. I'm 33.
Oh, I'm 27. I'm approaching.
You're around the corner from that level of contempt.
It's coming right up. You think it's
right
like 30?
there.
You think it's 30?
I think 31. I think 30, you're still spry. 31 is when it's like the reverse of the Wizard of Oz, where, like, you lose a little color. It's just like, oh God.
Comes out of nowhere.
I don't know. I've also, the last couple of years have been rough. You know what I mean? Just in humanity. So, like,
in general,
just in terms of being a person.
Yeah.
And, like,
yeah, that's true.
Looking at the world. You know. So I think that's probably got a little bit to do with it too.
It's just so crazy you even, like, moved to America. how old were you when you moved to America around 9/11? How old were you then?
I was 9. I turned 10. That fall I turned 10.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Look at you. So you just got, you got that right when you came in. I feel like you just got like you were just like traumatized from the very beginning. So
it was, I remember like, it was like a big deal, you know, but I remember like my parents acted like it wasn't.
Yeah.
Like we didn't like talk about it. Like a lot of people have stories about like my parents sat us down and they were like, fucking brown people blew up our buildings. Like, you know what I mean? Like they have these really like, and my parents were like, just some terrible shit in the news. Like I get like in hindsight, like they were, to them it was a big deal. It was like, what the fuck is happening? You know what I mean? What is this?
I don't even have a memory of 9/11, and I was born in 1998, so I guess I was like 3 or 4. But yeah, you'd think at least like something happened, but I don't remember anything. So I wonder.
Where were you living?
Flint, Michigan. Swartz Creek, Michigan. Swartz Creek is like right next to Flint.
So it was like you're like having breakfast.
Yeah.
9/11's going down.
I guess.
Yeah. Or you'd be sitting in a little plastic chair, right, or something like that.
Yeah.
Dude.
Everybody has 9/11 stories. I feel like, I guess right around my age is where they drop off. You'd probably have to be born in like 95, 94.
Yeah. I think my sister, who's born in 95, still remembers.
Yeah. Right.
Like she has a very vague recollection of it, but I think we've talked about it. I think she still does. But yeah, I could see how like someone that's maybe born a couple years after you, like someone born in 2000 would not remember.
They got nothing.
Which is crazy to me.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Because it was just, it shook the planet, man.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Right.
It like shook the surface of the earth.
It makes me sad because I got nothing of the planet before that. That's how I feel. Like even being like 3 years old. Like I feel like my planet has always been like 9/11 world. You know, I never really got that because I've just heard.
9/11 world sounds like the worst amusement park. You know, like you could go to Six Flags, or you could go to 9/11 world.
I'm just trying to think of the rides. You know? One goes like way up, way up.
All planes. You don't know where they're gonna go. You get in a plane.
The plane just flies sporadically around.
Yes, there will be exactly a couple of arrows.
You're heading towards the building. It just goes around the building right when you're about to hit it. You know.
That's the thing. It's really fun if you're a brown person at 9/11 world because the other passengers get on and they're not sure if you're one of the actors or you're also just here.
Yeah.
As a guest at 9/11 world taking this 9/11 ride.
Man, scripting that would be so fun, like telling the actors what to say.
Scripting terrorism would be fun as a hot take. I don't know that that's, but I think you're right.
For the amusement park, dude?
Unfortunately.
Like in this scenario, you're telling these people what to say before they get in planes and just, that's crazy. What are you going to be saying?
I'd like to think that they'll sing. It's the flight attendants, the pilots, the terrorists. You know what I mean? But that's the thing. It's like Hamilton. They'll mix up the ethnicities of the terrorists, so you don't know who the terrorist is. That's what makes it part of the thrill of 9/11 was not knowing who the terrorists were.
I think a good thing to do too would be have the people who are the terrorists, like the singing people.
Yeah,
they just get out of their chairs like they're in the crowd the whole time, so they're each like part of it, but you don't know who's who.
They board the plane just like the regular guest goer. They're talking to people. They're like, "Oh my god, like who do you think it is?" You know what I mean? They're playing it really because like I've done stupid fucking like acting work like that, where like you're supposed to pretend to be like someone who bought a ticket to this dumb fucking thing, but like I'm in it. You know what I mean? And people were weird. People would be really weird to you. People would be like, because do you know what Dinner Detective Detective is? It was like just a way to make some quick cash when I lived in Portland. This is years and years ago. And basically they like give you a script and give you a role. And you're basically supposed to, they like paired with the very last time I did it, they like paired me up with some girl. And she was supposed to be my wife. And we were like supposed to just hang out as husband and wife during this dinner at the tables with these guests and pretend to be like, and they're like asking us questions and shit. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And at some point, I remember what I'll never forget, there was like a part of the script where she's supposed to slap me.
Okay.
And she was like a theater kid. And like, I'm not like a theater person, but she took acting like, you know, like really seriously. She slapped the shit out of me, man. She slapped me so fucking hard, bro. I almost cried.
Oh, really?
I like, you know, when someone slaps you, it's like, I felt like my mom slapped me, dude. Like, it was like, I'd been slapped in so long.
like, On a scale of 0 to 10, like 10 being like
7.
Because 10's like power slap. 10's like those slaps you see on those
10's
shows.
like she's throwing her elbows into it. You know what I mean? She's like
7.
fighting me off. I would say 6. No, 7. It hurt me. It hurt me emotionally more than physically. Like, she hit me just hard enough.
Yeah.
That I'm still talking about it, dude. Like,
I'm surprised you got, like, you didn't. Yeah, I probably wouldn't either. Because I was thinking, like, would you like mention it to her beforehand? Like, say to her beforehand, like, hey, how are we doing?
I guess that's the thing. It's like, look, when you slap me,
yeah,
I just want you to know I'm sensitive.
What do you say?
So don't slap me like that hard,
please. I don't know. Yeah, exactly. So like, she's probably just gonna. You're just hoping
it'll
that she
feel like
won't.
my sister is slapping me. Like, it'll feel like terrible.
Well, she should have, like, I don't know if that's like what's regular, because like in professional wrestling and theater, I imagine the regular thing would be like to like just fake a slap for the most
She
part.
was not wrestling, okay? She fucking, dude, she slapped me.
I'm thinking maybe she didn't like you.
I think she had been wanting to slap me for a while.
That's what I'm thinking.
The way that I didn't receive it well, you know what I mean? I think based on, she could tell from my eyes, the way I looked at her after she slapped me, that she had crossed the line, and I could see that reaction in her. But we stayed in the scene. We finished it up. You know what I mean? Walked out of the room.
And that was it. That was that.
And I never saw her again. And she didn't apologize. But it's like, I feel so stupid for like even wanting an apology.
That's a fun story.
That's a fun story though.
Just getting slapped.
Yeah, I was like 25, 26.
Yeah.
And it was just this like random gig that I took. You know what I mean? It was like $50 a night. It was like something stupid like that. You know what I mean? Like for like 6 hours of work. Like the money was not worth it.
How scripted was it? Because the slap was scripted, but the rest
of it
was...
was scripted, but you had to like hang out and like say whatever you had to say.
Okay.
To like maintain the facade.
Okay.
But like nobody believed that this girl was my wife. You know what I mean? Like we were not acting like two people that were married. We were being real. Like, it was weird. People could tell we were being weird. Like, I was sitting next to this drunk lady, and she was a strange person too. She was like, I bet it's you two. And I was like, you bet we're what? You know, just trying to like play it off. And I swear to God, she was so hammered. She was just like, I don't know, like must have been like 20 years older than me, 25 years older than me. She was like, well, you're cute, so you must be one of the actors. And I was just sitting there like, oh my fucking God, like I'm never doing this again. That was, dude, yo, it was the strangest gig. Like, old ladies.
You remember where it was?
Would like grab my ass. You know what I mean? Like, they would do crazy shit. Like, I'm not like this isn't like a Chippendale. You know what I mean? Like, why would you think that you could just do that, dude?
Well, you know, I mean, like, that's what I mean. Like, I wonder where this was, because if it was like some kind of like random bar somewhere or something.
No, it was in a ballroom of a hotel.
Really?
Where they had like tables and chairs set up. And we would have space to basically like play through the scenes, and then they would also serve like 3 courses or something.
Oh.
The food was trash.
Oh.
But it was like a weird like kitschy thing.
Yeah.
That I was just like, okay, I'll do this sometimes when I just need like a quick buck. You know what I mean? Like maybe just like a couple of easy dollars before a paycheck comes through.
See, I think what I figured out is I could take these things and just say, I'll do it as long as you let me wrap everything.
That's it. No.
Just let me wrap everything.
They took it really, really seriously. And it was like...
They'd probably get mad at me, yeah.
when I initially got into it, me and my friend Steve both went to like the audition or whatever, and they like gave us the job. It was not that hard to get.
Yeah.
And he like moved... I don't know why. He stopped doing it. But at that point, I was like, well, we've already spent this much time like learning this shit. Like, we might as well like do the job.
Okay.
And then I like stopped like briefly after that. It was like, it was fucking over for me. It was awful.
Just because it was that bad.
It was just, yeah, dude, it was, I don't know. I like doing stand-up. I realize like doing shit like that, it takes a certain personality. Like, think about like the guy that plays Aladdin at Disneyland. I'm sure he's
like Elvis, the guy who's always Elvis.
The guy, whatever, man. Like, they're fantastic.
Yeah.
But you got to be a certain sort of guy to love doing that. You know what I mean? To just like sink into that shit and like really do it justice. I realized I'm not that person.
Yeah. For that type of show, you mean? Like that type of thing?
Yeah, where you're like, yeah, dude, like some kind of hokey shit like that.
Yeah,
you know?
and there's a lot of those, aren't there?
And it's not even like I could never do like a medieval times. You know, you know what I'm trying to say? Like,
I don't know if I'd like that or not. Again, I just try to force rap into it, so I'd probably try to trick them into letting me be it. Like letting me, I feel like I'm like Jedi mind tricking them into getting that in there somehow. Like
I like to think that you rap when you fuck.
Yeah, right. Like just that'd be a good. I should make that a thing, right?
You should try it one time. I think. I think it's worth the shot once.
Yeah, I'll film it. I'll put it on a couple websites if you know what I mean.
That would be a weird ad to Pornhub. I wonder if there's a rapping category.
There is a rapper. Frank Ocean. I think he put a whole album up on Pornhub once.
Really?
I swear he did that. It was some. I think
is
it
there
was
sex during the music?
No.
Oh.
But that was like,
that is
wow.
a strange. It's funny. Like that's funny that like OnlyFans is making stand up now.
Oh really?
Did you know that?
No.
Yeah, it's like a lot of people have done it. Like
putting their stand up on OnlyFans.
No, they're like producing like stand up. Like they're producing people. I think they're like 20 minutes or like 10 minutes. I don't know.
You mean they're making stand up content for OnlyFans?
OnlyFans, the fucking subscription jerkin company.
Yeah. But I'm saying
producing stand-up comedy for
they're producing it themselves.
They're shooting it and distributing it. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
Maybe they're trying to
there's
rebrand.
There's money to be made.
They got to be trying to rebrand.
Yeah,
that's got to be
trying to go legit. You know what I mean? It's Godfather 3.
Yes. Yeah. Because for too long, people have been throwing shame on their name. Yeah. Shame on the family name. They need to shake it up. They need to.
You could be only a fan of anything. Like I just.
Yeah. Exactly. Because that's what the people
just be these women.
The people defending it. That's what I've always heard. It's like, oh, OnlyFans isn't just that. It's actually it was originally designed for a thing where you can produce content for just your fans.
That's fair.
But isn't that like what Patreon is? Isn't that what all those things are?
That's what Patreon is. These guys, they know what they're doing. I think they were like, look, if we become the porn people, there will be money to be made. And then they pull it off. Oh. And now they're like, okay, maybe there's more money to be made.
It's like Lizzo.
What's Lizzo doing?
Lizzo is fat, and then now she's like lost all this weight, and she's like fat shaming and saying that like
she's fat shaming.
Yeah, that's like why people are mad at her.
Fat shaming?
She's just fat people in general. She's like saying like she doesn't like fat people. So I swear like she's like said negative things about fat people, and people thought like there's like the base Lizzo fans, like they think she's based, and then there's the other fans who are like, Lizzo, I can't believe this. You've turned on all of the fat community.
I mean, I don't know. I liked Lizzo's music when she was fat. I suspect it hasn't diminished now that she's lost weight. That's about as.
It's like Adele.
I don't need myself to have an opinion about her opinion about this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I just need her to fucking crank out the hits, make some fun music.
But it's the comparison. You said before, what'd you say? I'm forgetting.
What did I say? I don't know. We got real high before this.
I got Lizzo'd. I just got Lizzo'd real quick.
You Lizzo? Is that what that means when you forget something from being stoned?
Sure.
I got Lizzo'd.
I think that's how slang works nowadays. I think you just say something and then it just naturally somehow flops into.
I don't feel cool enough to invent a new thing, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And I know because I've tried.
Oh yeah.
And there are times where I've pulled it off. And there are some times where it's been months, and I'm the only guy at the job that's been saying this.
What things have you invented? Do you remember?
Just like nicknames and stuff that never took off. You know what I mean? Like sort of shorthand, like silly names for stuff.
Yeah.
That's if you could tell I hate where I work if I'm like creating new names for things that have names that everybody knows.
Right.
It's like my mind eating itself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm killing time thinking about whatever I can.
That's a good point. Yes. Yeah. If you're like creating an imaginary world at your work, you probably hate it there.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly, man.
I mean, I'll be like actively writing because I'm a server, so I'll be like writing raps on my notepad, like if I can, like I like to do that sometimes, like if I can. That's a smart way to do it, you know. What I'm doing now, because what the best way to do it, what I'm doing then is I'm writing down a bunch of notes if I can, like a themed rap, and then I'll try to incorporate all the words. And like for the roast battle thing, what I had to do is I have to write down a bunch of shit about everybody, and then I'm just gonna have to come up with a bunch of disses.
Oh,
so, as I see you right now,
how you break it down. Yeah. That's very interesting.
Yeah, I got all this information. Some people are whores, whitest man alive. See, with Drew Gregory, he's there again, and I already said he looks like Hank Hill, so I burnt that one out. I can't say it twice.
You gotta change it up.
I wrote down Ned Flanders, but we did hear that one. He has an anal fissure. And like that's just something that was said, but it is true. He does.
What
have
is an anal fissure?
I looked it up because I wasn't sure. It's a tear in your anal cavity. It's like a tear.
Oh,
like if you're shitting too hard.
Literally, exactly. It means you're shitting too hard.
Yeah.
You can shit too hard.
Yeah.
How hard do people shit, man?
People shit hard. Like people strain. Like it's like if that's
you're
how
sure it's not from doing anal.
Yeah, dude.
Okay.
It's like that's how hemorrhoids come about. You know.
That's what that I know, but that is from parking it on the toilet too long.
I don't know. I think there's all kinds of ways.
Shitting too hard.
Maybe both. Maybe like certain diets for certain people. Like you shit certain ways.
They're not eating well, so they're not shitting well.
Exactly. Like it's probably all kinds of things. But your butthole can go through all kinds of things, is what the point of this is.
That's so unfortunate, man.
And Drew Gregory's butthole has been through some things.
Some anal fissures.
He's got an anal fissure. And that's kind of like a slam dunk if I can plant that one on him. Because, like, the problem is, it's not like... so.
Did he say something about an anal fissure?
I have to gather this data. I had to look at the video of him on Roast, because it was the first time on Roast Battle a couple weeks ago. And some people don't have much on Instagram and all that. So, like, I have to just watch what the... Because this is exactly what I was going to say. With Roast Battle, it's a particular format. Like, if you know what's going on, either making fun of your appearance, like, that's the joke, or it's like we talk to each other and there's a fact about you, or there's a fact about you I can present to the audience, and then I present that fact, and then I turn that fact into a joke. Like, that's almost always is one of those two things. And the problem is, in a rap, it's hard to do that the exact same way, because when I introduce the fact, the audience doesn't know quite what I'm saying unless I say it just right. You know, like in a roast joke, it's actually kind of easy because you can just say it straight to them. So this is like what I'm trying to figure out in my mind is how exactly do I write these raps in a way that perfectly makes sense? Because it's still like roast jokes, but I have to set them up just right. I can't just say, like, Hannah Belmont, her boyfriend's gay. I could probably say that. I feel like people might know what I'm saying.
Is that like a bar? Like Hannah Belmont?
If I say it right. If I say it right, yeah. Like,
interesting.
You know, like, because the thing is, the other thing I learned is it doesn't have to be that smart. It just have to be, like, set up right. Like, people cheer because it rhymes. That's what it is. So if I say oi and a, like, that's the rhyme I got to go for. I destroy... Yo, coming through, I destroy in a day on Hannah Belmont Street. Yo, your boyfriend is gay. Everybody immediately.
Oh!
Yeah, it doesn't take much.
That's really what all you want in a rap. You just want people to be like, ah!
Exactly.
That's how I would think about it. I would think about words that I needed to arrive at, rhyme those, and then build out the front half of the sentence.
That's always what it is.
Yeah.
I feel like if you're doing this, that's what's so nice about writing with that format is you can do that perfectly. Like, it's not like a freestyle. It's like kind of like you have all the bullet points and you just got to figure out how to.
Like, how do I get from A to J? You know what I mean? And then if you can kind of net that together, like
exactly, yeah,
that becomes a whole verse.
Yeah,
that's really fucking cool, dude. I was very impressed. I was like, I thought you put those together pretty quickly, but you have this dialed in. You have this mechanism. You know what I mean? Well, it's a really effective way to do it.
What I'm trying to figure out is how long to do the freestyle afterwards. Because the freestyle is where I say everything. That's where I said my best friend is Indian. How could I be racist? If you remember me saying that.
I do. I
think that was said in your roast battle. I just can't remember in what context.
Because the comic that I was roasting, that's a fact about her life, is that her best friend is Indian. She's very familiar.
It's true. So how could she be racist?
How could you? If you know one Indian, it absolves you of. I'm not saying that actually it's racist, but I know it sounds like I'm saying that. She's not. She's fine.
Yeah. But okay, yeah, there's that. What else did I say? Oh, Ashley in Miami. That was my...
The Ashley in Miami joke
That was a good one. That was a good one. And that's like, so that's the trick, is I freestyle at the end, because I was thinking, I don't know if I'll be able to freestyle for a full 3.5 minutes. I have to figure out this Jedi mind trick so far. Like, what you saw was the first experiment, the very first experiment. And I'm glad you were a part of it. Mr. Srinivasan.
Yeah,
See, I fucked it up twice. I fucked it up before we started recording and just now.
That's okay.
You said you said you were gonna kill people. What did you say before?
Did I say that before?
I don't know what you
I was
said.
like,
You're
the next person that says this wrong,
Yeah.
I'm gonna give them an anal fissure.
Yeah. I think you said something about America. You said something about Americans.
I got real worked up about it.
Yeah, well, how did your life change when you came to America? Like, what is the difference? If do you remember? Do you have like a good memory?
Everything is different. Have you been to like South Asia?
I haven't even really left
It's
America.
like it's a different planet, man. I was just
bet.
there, dude. Like it's it's a whole ass. If you've never left America, it'd be hard to describe what it's like to go to an alien world.
Because that's what it is.
That's what it is. Yeah, you're going to an alien planet.
Yeah.
Yeah, people are looking at you weird.
How often do you go back there?
Not often enough. I just went back. I'm trying to go back again next summer, probably. If not next fall. I don't know. But before that, it had been like a decade since I've been back.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, definitely gotta make more trips, I think. Well, because I was supposed to go to like for a while there, like I was like making no money, and I just like didn't have any motivation to go.
Right.
And then it was like, okay, I haven't been in a long time. Let's go in 2020. And then COVID happened, and then it was like, well, fuck. And then it was just something that kept like getting sidelined, and then it was like, all right, I should go this year.
Well, and that was cool. It was like a return.
It was cool, man. It's cool seeing family, people I hadn't seen in a long time,
Oh, so you had somewhere to stay and all that good stuff.
Yeah. I was in my aunt's place out in like the country, in South India, dude. We saw like wild monkeys, like that came to her backyard to snatch some mangoes from the trees in her backyard.
No way.
Dude, yeah. And they were like,
Really?
like 2 feet away from me. Like I was like behind this sort of like fence, like a gate type thing. But
How big were they?
I mean, I could like chuck one across the street, but like a couple of them would fuck me up for
Like
sure.
this big?
Like about as big as your cat. No, I'd say about twice as big as your cat.
Twice as big. That's still kind of big for a monkey.
It's a big.
Monkeys are strong.
They were pretty big. One of them had a little baby. It was cool, man. It was cool to see that.
People have pet monkeys. I can't imagine wild monkeys.
These monkeys are not gonna be pets, bro. They're fucking. These monkeys are wild.
Wild monkeys. I've never seen one. I've never seen, cause again, never really been out of America. I've never seen like a lot of wild animals. Wild monkeys would be so cool. Wild elephants would be so cool.
You should get out to like Mexico or something, man. It's still very like natural down there. You know what I mean? I think if you got.
What do you mean natural?
Like, I feel like, I don't know, you're more likely to like run into wild monkeys or wild animals in general, just like being in a town. You know what I mean?
see.
Here, if you're in like whatever, like if you're way out there in Alaska or something, like
If a monkey came into your town in America, it would be on the news.
it would be a big deal. But it's like most places don't just have like animals that you can see, you know what I mean? That like
Right.
show up, but like, in a lot of places in the world that are still developing, like it's still like that. And I think it's
that's kinda
important to
cool.
like go out to those spots, man. Like I was in Thailand before that. We saw elephants. Like it was.
That's what I said.
It
Elephants.
was dope, man.
You saw wild elephants.
No, they weren't wild. They were definitely sad elephants, but
Prisoner elephants.
They were definitely jail elephants.
Yeah.
That were doing tricks.
I was just talking with Zach Albers. He was saying this to me because I wasn't sure. Where does it start? Like, does the circus still have wild animals there? Do they still do it? Or no? He was saying no. I was saying maybe.
I don't know. The closest thing I went to a circus since I was like a child was like I got this Groupon for this traveling like Halloween themed carnival.
Ooh.
And like I literally like took a Bumble date there. And it was cool. It was like people doing like Cirque du Soleil type shit. You know what I mean? There was like these guys on motorcycles that were doing crazy stuff.
Yeah.
They didn't have any wild animals. But I also feel like there's got to be like an underground circus, right? Where it's like they do the crazy shit.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Like with animals?
With people, with animals. You ever seen Nightmare Alley?
No.
You ever see that? Man, so it's like about the circus, and I'm just gonna spoil like a little part of it for you. There's a guy in it they called a geek, and the whole thing is that he's like strung out on like opioids or something.
Okay.
And his whole thing is that people stand around a cage, and like once or twice a day he comes out and bites the head off of a live chicken, and then they like give him his fix.
Okay. And he does that?
I mean? And he does it. And they just like keep him in a cage. And it's like based on like real shit. You know what I mean? Like they used to have guys like that they would just keep them like fucked up. They were just like a little slave.
Yeah.
They would travel with the carnival.
They would eat an animal?
And they would bite the chicken heads off of chickens.
Really? Oh, I didn't know they did that. For real?
That's why you gotta travel, man. You learn stuff like this. Like
what? That's crazy. I bet. Yeah, you're right. Someone somewhere is probably still doing that type of thing.
Somebody's doing that act, right?
Right. What are the odds that it's not happening?
Somebody
That's
gets
very low.
paid to headline.
And you won't believe what this guy's about to do.
And their act it's 10 minutes, maybe 5 minutes long. They gotta do some kind of weird ritual before they do this, right? If they have any sort of sophistication, if not, it's really just a crackhead that's like like they release from a cage, and it's like, come on, do the chicken thing.
Yeah, it's about the setup. You gotta have a good setup, or else it's just profane, right?
Yeah, I mean, it would be profane to watch that regardless. There's another movie, I forgot what it was, where like, it was Babylon, I think, and they like he like takes this guy. It's like he's like this big wig in L.A. And they like take this guy to like an underground show in like this really sketchy spot, and some dude comes up and he's got like an executioner's mask on or like a ski mask on, and he just eats a live rat. And it's the craziest shit in the world.
When was this?
This isn't a movie they made. It's like a Margot Robbie movie from a couple of years ago. But I just remember like watching it. Like I saw it on like Amazon Prime one night. I was like, what the fuck? It was one of the most upset things I had ever seen, dude. It's like I think he like eats a live rat. I think that's what happened. I forget. Either that or it was something so much more gruesome, and I'm like blocking it out. Like that's as far as I'm willing to go.
When you were saying this to me, it reminded me of in Nosferatu.
In Nosferatu, yeah.
He bit an animal. I mean, a bird's head off. I think it was a bird.
He bites a bird's head off.
Yeah, but I think like it's a horror movie, so again, it's the setup, right? Because I feel like it's kind of fun. Like the audience cheers when they see a bird's head bitten off. Did people cheer when he bit
a bird's head off?
I feel like it got a good reaction in the room I was in. I feel like
people cheered?
I don't know if they cheered, but I feel like it was like, oh.
People were like, oh, nice.
Nice.
I like that he did that.
Exactly.
Are you serious?
Yeah. I don't think it's real.
Well, no, but that's a weird reaction to have as a collective.
In a horror movie, though? That's what I mean. Like a horror movie, maybe it's...
Yeah, but that was a movie that was like... If it had been like 10% more cartoonish, I think that would have been okay.
Right.
But that movie was like just spooky enough to be like, oh, they're like trying to scare you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think I counted maybe 1 jump scare, 2 jump scares. They don't do those too often.
They got me a couple of times, but I don't
like those ones.
I fell asleep twice watching that movie, bro.
I had a problem where I used to fall asleep during so many movies.
It was
kind of
so
crazy.
long.
Yeah.
And it's so... like dark, you know what I mean?
like it puts you to sleep, like how dark it is.
Just
the
like,
color scheme.
You just like sort of knock out. Like it, I don't know, just chills you out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's that movie. Same with Presence. I don't know if you saw that. I fell asleep during that movie. Like I woke up in the middle of it. I was like, wait, what's going on?
I fell asleep during the new Batman movie.
Oh, with Robert Pattinson?
Yeah. I don't even know. I couldn't even understand. Maybe I need to rewatch it. But like, I was like, I don't even understand how people could. Like, this is making me want to go to bed. Like, I couldn't even.
It was a slow burn.
I couldn't even wrap my mind around it. But maybe it's just the mood I was in that day. I really was like amazed. I don't know. You liked it?
I loved it, man.
Because they're making a second one.
Like opening night.
Oh, really?
It was fantastic.
It's directed by, is it Japanese director?
I forget who does it.
Because I thought that was the whole thing. It's kind of like a Japanese kind of feel of the movie. It's almost kind of because
the vibes were on point, my friend. Like the costumes and the set design.
Well, that's what I was getting from the movie. I really felt like, at the very least, like it's kind of like a showy movie. It's very like
it was very aesthetic, in a good way. Aesthetically, like stylized. Like it was a little bit extra, but I liked that about it.
Like the whole thing kind of was like a really like extended music video in kind of a way.
It had that vibe. I mean, I heard the director was really. Like someone told me that like he was really inspired by like Trent Reznor and like Nine Inch Nails and like
interesting.
You know, like that Nirvana song, like the chords from that were kind of like the backdrop to the whole thing. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It was, I don't know. I love the vibe, man. It was beautiful.
When is the second one coming out? And is it like the Joker now? Is that
I think that's kind of what they set up, right? It's like it starts with the Joker, which I mean, I don't know. I'm excited to see what they do with it. Thus far, what they did with Catwoman, with the Penguin, with like, did you watch the Penguin show?
I've heard good things.
It's very good.
Is it on?
It's on Max.
Okay.
I can't call it HBO. I called it HBO over the weekend, and somebody was like, "It's Max now."
And you don't want to say HBO Max because that's too much. Because I feel like
it feels like saying a lot.
Yeah.
But it's like the new stuff they're making. Yeah. Are they still calling it HBO?
Well, Twin Peaks: The Return, when that show came back, that was on HBO because that was like the only reason I ever really wanted HBO, and it was HBO Max at that point too. I think, and I think it was just always HBO Max. I think that's what they say.
I was just at that diner in October.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
that's cool.
Where David Lynch is like, "Oh, I can hear everything now." you know, like we're at the fucking Twin Peaks diner, like. The part of the Seattle International Comedy Contest, I think it was like it's either prelim round or the semifinal round. They take everybody to that diner, and like we get to have dinner there before the show.
That's cool.
And in like the town where they shot quite a bit of it, like
what's the town? Is it called?
I forget the name. If I looked at where all the shows were again,
did you see like the waterfall?
Tell you. No, I got there at night, unfortunately. But it's like kind of the perk of like doing that contest is like if you're a Twin Peaks fan, it's like you end up there at some point.
Yeah.
There were people there from like New York and Canada. For them, it was like really exciting.
Are you a fan of the show or no?
Nah. I dated a girl for a while that was a huge fan, and I tried to get into it, but I couldn't. It's not
There's
for me.
cool, like at least like things to know that are cool about it. It is kind of one of the first like serial shows, like one of the first shows where people were talking about it, and it was like
there was a monoculture around it.
Yeah, because there wasn't a whole bunch of that before, like drama shows like that, or like shows where it's like there's a big question and
like
people are talking
camera
about,
shoot,
and you have to watch every episode to understand the full plot. There wasn't a whole bunch of that.
Interesting. Yeah.
Like, I'm because everything else was like there's a base, like there's a bunch of characters,
and it's a new adventure every day.
Exactly.
Right.
It was one of the first shows to really pull it off.
You
which
have
is
to
crazy
watch
to think
every
about.
episode.
And
nerd out on it to figure it out, and then it's still like a middle finger at the end.
Well, and that's what's sad about the show too is like it's all around this mystery, and if you know like what happened behind the scenes with the show. It's because David Lynch never wanted to reveal the secret. It was always supposed to be this big mystery.
Yeah.
So you were never supposed... It was always supposed to be like, what the fuck? You're always supposed to be confused when you watch the show. But they made it so you reveal too much, like the producers of the show, and that's why it all kind of goes off the rails at a certain point. That's kind of just the consensus of it. The Return, when it came back, that was crazy. The way David Lynch just passed away, which is sad.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, because, I mean, like, even the way that ended... Bruh, like
the new Dune broke his heart.
Yeah, maybe. The first Dune probably broke his heart because I think that's another thing where it's supposed to be better.
I can't get through it. I'm a huge Dune fan, and like I tried watching his Dune, and it was so stupid. I couldn't do it.
Do you know Alejandro Jodorowsky? Have you ever heard of that director?
Yeah, he had like a failed Dune, right? And
yes.
They like basically took that stuff and made Star Wars. Like that was like the whole thing.
Yeah, but then there's a movie about the movie he was supposed to make. Like there's a movie Jodorowsky's Dune or something. But his movie,
it's like a famous story. Like
is it? Because I wasn't sure if like people know about that. I don't know if that's something people know.
They like fucked him over and like they like took all of his shit, right? And then they made like Alien, like, and he started
really?
like
all that?
I think. Yeah.
Wait, yeah, I guess his Dune was a long time ago. damn, because it'd be like the 80s.
Yeah, and they like never released it, right?
Yeah.
And they just like reused all the stuff.
Wow. I need to watch that movie then. I didn't know it that deep.
Yeah.
I just knew like the general consensus.
I haven't seen the movie, but I saw a TikTok where there's someone like walks through the story.
I mean, like, have you seen any of his movies, Alejandro Jodorowsky?
No.
There's one like crazy movie. It's one of my top 5 movies, I think. If I just can't remember the name. It's been so long since I've seen it. It's my top 5, but I can't remember the name. But it's like his most known movie.
Is it like The Holy Mountain?
Yes, that's it. Yeah.
I've been meaning to watch that. It looks like a mind fuck. I just haven't like got around to doing it. I should watch it. I should watch it soon.
I mean, it's one of those movies where, because I feel like mindfuck movies, they're usually bad, but that movie's just that movie's crazy.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Like that movie is off the wall crazy, and it like it's like one of those crazies where it's like I can't tell if this is genius or if this is just like
either they're doing
insane.
something really right or they like confused all of us into thinking that this was good.
Yes,
kind of thing. Yeah,
and there's like a self-awareness to it in that way too.
That's how Napoleon Dynamite felt.
Yeah,
when it first came out, it's like either this is so stupid and they've convinced everyone this is cool, or this is the best thing anybody has ever made.
Yeah, and it's just aged even better over time, I feel like.
I think it has.
Yeah, because now, like, I think, like, are they making a second one?
I've heard that, but it also sounds like something that you, like, again, see on social media, and it's, like, total bullshit. You know what I mean?
Maybe it's a show. Maybe I saw
the cartoon is not bad.
Oh, they did that.
I did enjoy the cartoon.
I never watched it.
I've only seen a couple episodes, but I had a roommate that got really into it, and he still loves it. He still talks about it. He's like, dude, Napoleon Dynamite cartoon is pretty good.
Napoleon Dynamite, though, it is an interesting thing because he's not cool, but he is cool. That's kind of the whole idea.
That's the idea.
He's one of the coolest people ever, I feel like.
I think he's just so sincere.
Right. Yeah.
And there's nothing, like, there's no guile about him. You know what I mean? It's like, it's really seeing like it's like the same reason people like Forrest Gump. Like when someone is that deep on the spectrum, there's just an innocence to them, and it's so endearing.
Yeah.
And then it's like he makes a friend that's just like that, and then they're like both after the same girl, which is like a social complication. But then like you see these guys with poor social skills like try to navigate that.
Yeah.
I think it's like it's a sweet story, man, and you know. We laugh at like how weird they are, but I think it's like, I think it comes from a place of like, I see you, dude. Like I understand. I empathize with how you're dealing with this situation. Cause it's one of those things where like high school was like terrible. You know what I mean? Like most people didn't like it.
Right.
It felt tedious and incredibly like, there's a lot of weird social triggers that, you know what I mean? Like go bad all the time.
Right. Well, and it's like, you know, humanizing it, like giving people, because like when you make that person the main character of a movie and you give them like a hero's journey to go through, I feel like people can put themselves in that position, and it like empowers those people. Yeah, that's what's so cool about it. To do that properly, like to do a cool movie properly.
I think they did it
I think another movie, Superbad, does that for like a lot of teenagers. Does that. It's a great like teenager experience movie. Yeah. Like you watch,
because we all knew those kids that were like, bro, God.
I think I was best friends with one of those kids.
But like, it's just like two dudes that like never quite, again, like didn't develop the social skills. You know what I'm saying? But like, they were codependent, and like for that reason, they had this weird they were developmentally stunted. You know what I mean? Like they never quite like learned enough about sex and like experienced it in a healthy way, and like they had these weird attitudes about it, you know what I'm saying? Like, and honestly, I don't know, now it's like watching it is like, it feels like predatory as fuck, dude. Like I rewatched Superbad, like I put it on like a couple of years ago, and it was just like, oh my God, like I don't know if I'm like allowed to watch this anymore. Do you think they'd make it? I mean it definitely is like, there's shit in it now where it's like, that's not cool, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm thinking of like the scene where they're at like the adults party and like she gets period blood on his pants.
Even that I could like get over, but like there's like a weird line where Jonah Hill's like, oh, if she gets drunk and she's like, oh my God, I've made a mistake. I want to be that mistake. And it's just like, oh, yo, that's not cool, dude.
Was that when he's talking to him on the football field?
Yeah, he's like, and they're like plotting this thing where they're like gonna like get girls drunk. Like
that's the whole movie revolves around a party and getting girls drunk.
Yeah, dude. And it just, I remember just being like, oh, I don't know.
That's why I wondered. Could you still do it? That's
not cool.
That is kind of like the whole thing.
Yeah, man. So like that's.
But the way the movie ends does kind of justify it, because in the end he learns that wasn't the right thing to do, and the girl would have liked him either way, and he didn't have to do all that.
They come back around, and she doesn't like him, right? Where she's like, well, you're drunk.
He gets too drunk.
Yeah, and she's like, I'm not drunk.
But she likes him afterwards, and so it's all okay.
Okay, that's a little bit sus, but all right.
Because she was into him the whole time, but then he was just doing too much. That's what happened. He's doing too much.
That's his whole thing. Is he's trying too hard.
He's a try, and he was a try hard.
That was the character, right?
So maybe that's the way. Maybe you just make that person like the anti-hero. Maybe that's the only way.
It's still hard to root for a guy whose plan is like, I'm gonna get this girl drunk and then have sex with her. It's like, well, you're gonna do what, dude? Like, if one of my friends said that, I'd be like, you gotta do a different thing. That's fucking weird.
I have a coworker who tells me he wants to get me drunk and have sex with me, and I feel like that's a bit much, Like,
it seems like you're open to it.
No, I tell him like that. I react as any friend would if your friend said that to you, because I know that he's serious.
It's a horny friend.
He's one of those coworkers where, like, when people are male and other males get hired, you have to warn the other males, hey, look out for this guy.
Oh, look out for Chris.
Yeah.
He's gonna try to have sex with you.
Yes, exactly.
Wow, you gotta like sue, dude. Like,
I don't know. I think it's kind of endearing.
You could get rich.
I like
suing your job.
The thing is, I hear you, and I like where your mind goes. But I find all of this to be entertaining. Like, as a person who likes entertainment, I'm like, this is good.
Yeah. As long as this isn't like a cry for help. Where like, if I don't call someone, I'm like the bad guy.
No. One time I went out drinking with him, right? And like,
oh God,
my problem is like, if you're giving me free drinks, I'm gonna let you keep giving me free drinks. So I got like way too drunk, and then like I just went home, right? But then afterwards, this is when he really started saying things to me like, oh, I want to get you drunk, and then like blah, blah, blah. Not like a weird, like, let me caveat this with, that's not the only thing this guy says to me. He also says other things.
Oh, please share examples.
Oh, this guy's wild. I mean, I'm not going to say his name, but he like...
This story is wild. Then what happened?
He's one of those... gay people that like he always thinks there's something going on, like he always thinks that everything like it's like he'd be perfect for a drama show, like he's so and
like he reads too much into like every situation,
everything and I almost like it because it's kind of like a quality of his, but then it's like he'll like everything that happens he like thinks that like there's a couple new coworkers that we have now, and he thinks that they're evil and he doesn't like them, and he's trying to turn me against them and tell me there's Isaac.
This is what they call a classic drama queen. Yes. I've known many folks like this.
Very big drama queen.
And I think you should definitely have sex with this person.
No.
Just to add to the drama.
To connect it back to the podcast, I've told him to watch it before, and he's seen episodes of me with my feet exposed, and he's told me he doesn't really like my feet all that much, and so now I remember to wear socks and not expose my feet.
That might be a favor that he's done him, or he has a ranking of all of his coworkers' feet, and you're not doing very well.
Speaking of that, he's been trying to see one of my boss's feet. He's been talking.
Oh, perfect! I knew it. He's a foot man.
Told my boss about this. One time, we had a homeless guy in my work, like after closing time, in the bathroom, and we were like, hey, we think there's someone in the bathroom, and there's a guy in the bathroom, and we're like right in the downtown area, okay? And so like this is a homeless guy wandered in, now he's in the bathroom, and so somebody goes in, they check, they're like, oh, yep, there's somebody in there, like somebody in the stall just sitting in there, and they're not coming out, they've been in there for who knows how long, they're just sitting in the bathroom. So then goes in there, and then he comes out and he says to the guy that he asks one of my coworkers if he can let the homeless man in the bathroom blow him, for lack of a better word.
We do not lack better words, but I do think those get the point across.
And that was, it's the homeless guy in the bathroom, and he sees this homeless guy. He's like, he looks cute. And like, you know, when the homeless guy comes out of the bathroom, it's like not like an attractive homeless. It's like a regular, like, I'm not being mean. I'm just like saying, it's like.
I do like this idea of rating homeless guys
on an attractive scale.
Based on how fuckable they are.
Yo, that would be so funny.
Okay, I'm going to end this now.
Just like drive by, like a popular thing on TikTok though is it's just like, because that would actually
that's a 6.
Yeah, but at the very end here, what we got to do, it's always what we got to do. You got to give them the social media one, and also you got to give a message for the kids, so the kids that are watching, they learned lessons from us today, and you got to give them a final lesson
on the social media account that's rating homeless people.
I
don't think the kids should be learning anything from us today.
Yeah, you're right. We've shamed our families far too much today.
All right, I gotta shake a leg.
Social media, what is it?
I'm at my nips don't lie on everything.
And his nips don't lie here on Ruse Radio.
If I knew you were gonna do that, I wouldn't have agreed to come to the podcast.
Clocking out.
Double down, competition couldn't help him to rock. Missed the whole time, holy fell through the flock. That's an ordinary miracle, wealth to the block. It's a balance in the character that's calm and collect. It's apparent his caricature is lost in the